First of all, if you can tell us why you think this conference organised by the Party of European Socialists is so important.
It is very timely because the Arab Spring is spreading all around the Arab world. What the Arab young people are asking for is freedom, democracy, dignity, and social justice. And I think that falls squarely into the interest of the European socialists and the PAS in general. This is the time for the PAS and the socialist parties of Europe and Europe in general to come to the support of the new regimes here that are emerging, and they need help. They need economic help, they need organizational help, they need support politically, they need to really be given the opportunity to succeed so that the people will believe that democratic revolutions bring about a better life. And I think the conference comes exactly at the right time.
Okay, so in terms of offering help, how important do you think it is that that help is from a progressive political viewpoint rather than a conservative one?
It is important because people here do not believe in right-wing support. It is suspect. To be very honest, even any help from the United States is suspected. Yeah. When support comes from European socialists, European progressives, there is much more trust that this is really to help them and not to manipulate them or exploit them.
Okay, and you see a lot of displacement from people who are suffering from some of the consequences of the revolutions in the region, and you have a refugee question. What do you think should be the response from Europe in relation to that refugee question?
Economic. The refugees are leaving because there's no economic opportunity. Tunisia and Egypt have lost billions really because of the loss of tourism. And the loss of tourism, tourism is a very susceptible to security risks, and people don't want to go to a place that may have a security risk. But that is bringing disasters to countries like Tunisia and Egypt, where tourism contributes a great deal of their national income. But also the disturbance, the changes have also created difficulty in other sectors of the economy, like the export of phosphates from Tunisia, like also many exports from Egypt. Even the production system itself requires a new environment. Therefore, Tunisia and Egypt, and eventually Syria and Libya, will require economic support in order to avoid people just quitting the country en masse in little boats that drown in the Mediterranean and create serious problems where they reach.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, moving on to another issue, the Party of European Socialists would like to congratulate you and your party Fatah for the recent deal or agreement that you have made with Hamas. And if you could give us some of the details of that agreement and what you think the next steps will be.
The agreement really builds on three components. One is the what is called the Egyptian paper. This is the paper that was written as a result of 1.5 years of negotiations between Hamas and Fatah in Egypt, supported by the Egyptians then. And then Hamas said that the Egyptian regime is changed, so we ought to change the whole paper. And that had delayed really signing it. And then they said we have some reservations on the drafting of the paper. We accepted the reservations. And I think that was a step from our side. Then Abu Mazen, the second component, our President Abbas, suggested that he goes to Gaza in order to form a government of personalities, independent personalities, to be a temporary government that will hold elections and start implementing measures for reunification. At the beginning, Hamas balked at that, but then Hamas decided that it's not a bad idea at all, and that we made a compromise on the time. Hamas wanted 2 to 3 years before they could have elections. We insisted on 6 months before elections. We agreed on a year, which is a compromise that both of us accepted. The third component was about the revival of the PLO through new elections of the PLO. So the elections now will cover the PLO Council, the Legislative Council of the authority, and the presidential elections, all of which will take place together with local elections for local authorities in a year's time. All of these leading to concessions from the two sides were propelled by their feeling that unity is a must if we are to really get anywhere, getting the freedom and independence and the peace for our country.
Thank you very much.